So one thing we're to look back at, and you know what? Hindsight is 2020 vision, isn't it, Belinda?
Correct, absolutely.
And when you look at the benefits of hindsight, and you look at JobKeeper, it certainly was a winner.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I mean, look, it's one of the things that really helped us weather the impact of lockdown and come sailing through the crisis in 2020 through 2021. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It was great for Australia. We really did well.
Yeah, look, if I was the guy that architected, I think it was Josh Frydenberg, I'd be feeling pretty happy about how it all panned out. And, you know, it was a very high stakes move. It could have cost a fortune and achieved nothing. It still cost a fortune, but it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, it did.
Right? It did what it did. But now as it unwinds, is it going to leave business high and dry? I mean, is it going to throw millions onto the unemployment scrap heap again? Is it going to crash the economy?
Yeah, I mean, they're all interesting topics and interesting ideas.
Yeah, so what's going to happen? Well, this is the thing. Let me go through it and just show you some of the stats. But I don't reckon, but I'm going to show you the stats and you make up your own mind. You know, you tell me what you think. Right. So to start with, you know, many have been coming off JobKeeper naturally as the economy reopens. Right. So what's happening with JobKeeper is they started a certain peak and then every 3 months it went down. It started going down and down. So you're not getting the same subsidies what you are now. Mm-hmm. Right. So at the peak, right, in the third quarter of 2020, 1 million businesses and 3.6 million employees receiving the payment.
Wow.
But by the close of the year, by the end of the year, we're down to 500,000 businesses and 1.6 million employees. Right? And at last count is 960,000 employees. Just have a look at this graph here. Right?
Yep.
So you look at JobKeeper here, April 2020, 3.6 million. Then you've got, can you see my little mouse? Yep. Then you got October 2020, 1.6 million. January 21st, we've got 960,000. And now we're in March. We're about to finish March. Now the CBA, that FCast means forecast, by the way, not anything rude.
I thought rude straight away.
I just thought, you know, and so the CBA reckons it's going to be 900,000 people.
Wow.
Right? Which is not a lot of people.
No, it's not.
Right? So it's been heading south. So every passing day, less and less the workforce become dependent on the payments. Mm. Right? So see, the thing is, those remaining in JobKeeper remain concentrated in the services sector, particularly in arts and recreation. So really what got hit the worst was tourism and things like that. So you look at the airport, for example, you know, the rent-a-car market, the airport thing, that sort of stuff really it's cut down. But you look at this JobKeeper 2020, share of industry and employment. If you can see that, right? You can see that arts and recreation, rental hiring is pretty high.
Yep.
Right. So see, the blue line there is the how much JobKeeper, and the orange line is the population of people that are in that. So you look down at the bottom, healthcare. You know, I'm sorry, the blue line is the portion of the population that work in that industry. The orange line is how much JobKeeper, and healthcare hardly anyone because they're so busy and so flat out.
Correct. Absolutely.
Right. So that's the stats there. So this is the deal. So CBA's forecast that 900,000 people will still be on JobKeeper when it winds up at the end of the month. How many of those are at risk of losing their jobs entirely? Right? Because CBA, they crunch the numbers and do a lot of that. And what they do is they assign risk weightings to different industries and then assume high-risk industries will lose 25% of the JobKeeper employees, the ranks, the unemployed. Medium-risk industries will lose 10%, low-risk 5%. And here it is here. And as you can see, high risk industries are transport, arts, and recreation, and accommodation and food. But as you and I know, accommodation and food, it hasn't been risky at all, has it? It's flat out.
Oh, it's been flat chat.
Yeah. So, like I haven't seen any risk when it comes, like getting accommodation. We, for Easter, we barely got any accommodation.
Yeah, absolutely. There was hardly anything left. And look at things like food these days, even your top restaurants, they've got 3 sittings.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
instead of one, exactly.
Instead of one. So they're doing 3 times the business in a sitting, and they're making up for that lost time.
Yep. So I think accommodation and food is not so bad, and I think I wouldn't call it high risk personally.